Hey y'all, it's the real Miss Bobbiana herself. Just kidding, but no. My name is Melody. If you're new to my channel, At Home with Melody is about all things DIY and motherhood as I tackle everything in a fixer-upper home that I bought. So today's video, we're going to continue working in this guest bedroom makeover. So I'm going to get into these bifold closet doors that I absolutely hate. This home was built in 1970s, and I just can't take all of the wood and the louvers that are on this dusty, dingy door. So if you have these doors in your house and you hate them as well, and this sounds like something you would be interested in, be sure to hit that thumbs up button at the bottom of this video, subscribe for more content, and let's get into it. So to start off this project, of course, I had to take a couple of measurements of the panels that I would need so that I could head to Home Depot and Lowe's to pick up the wood. After taking a few rough measurements, I figured I'd go ahead and remove the louvers from this door. To do this, I had to drill a hole into the louvers and then insert the jigsaw blade into that hole. So in one of my previous videos, I went shopping for tools and materials for upcoming DIY projects. The jigsaw that I purchased then will be used in this video. If you haven't seen that video, definitely go check it out. I'll pop it somewhere in the screen for this one. So yeah, this was my first time using the jigsaw. Please ignore my frames, y'all. I didn't know where my safety glasses were, and I had to, just keep going with what I had on hand. So yeah, excuse the sunnies. After struggling to cut that little piece out, I decided that this was a project that would probably be best to be done outside. So took the door off the track and moved outside with this. It didn't take me long to cut these out. Once I got these out, I took my measurements again, and then I headed to the store. So my first stop was Lowe's, and y'all, I had no clue what type of wood I actually needed. I knew that I wanted something affordable because wood can be expensive. I knew I needed something thin but also sturdy because these would be closet doors and people would be pushing and pulling on them. But other than that, that's really all I knew. I do rely on help from some of the employees when I go shopping like this. Sometimes I get it, sometimes I don't. But hey, isn't that what Google's for? So after browsing around, I finally found what I thought I needed. But of course, the day I went, the saw was down in Lowe's. So then I had to head to Home Depot. So y'all, while I was walking through, I found this cart, or so I thought I did. But this guy came up and was like, "Hey, that's our cart." And I was like, "Well, sorry, I thought it was just an abandoned cart." And I want y'all to know that he really took his cart back. And then I had to carry this whole board of wood. I did apologize because true enough, I had stole their card by mistake. But yeah, I walked around talking shit for like 2 minutes. Because mister, that you can let me keep it. I don't care. I don't know how it happens, but whenever I need a cut at Home Depot, it's always the same guy that's running the saw. That's my guy. He helps me out. We get it done. Shout out to you, sir. So once I was back home, I figured that I could relocate back inside the house in the AC because hot. What I was planning to do was take these panels and glue them into the openings with some liquid nails. Liquid nails comes in a tube like caulk, and you just put it in a caulk gun. So I figured that would be simple enough. As with anything that I'm doing around the house, at any moment the kids want to be involved, so I try my best to set it up to be as safe as possible, and at least just let them be in the midst, because y'all, they not going anywhere. So yeah, Amari slid his chair up, Aya came over, of course you want to be in your lap. We be all over the place, but that is what At Home with Melody is all about, baby. We get to it, we make it happen, no matter how, we get it done. So it's funny because most of the times it's not until I'm doing the editing that I'll see where Amari made funny faces in the camera. They knocked the camera over, all type of stuff, y'all. But once again, my kids are always here. I don't mind that most times. So you get what you get. I'm not a stay-at-home mom. I work. Yes, my partner is here, but he's also busy doing different things. So yeah, the kids are also always under me. So yeah, I love my babies. They're going to know how to do all types of things when they grow up, and I absolutely love that for them. So yeah, get into it. While doing this, I did try several different techniques. I thought maybe I could put the panel on top of the opening, like not inside of it. That didn't really work out, so I did end up going with putting it in the inside. But the problem I ran into with that was sometimes the cut wasn't perfect, because with the saw at Home Depot, it's mostly for you to be able to fit it inside your car. It's not to be a perfect cut for a project. So I did have to do some minor trimmings with a box cutter, because that's all I had at the time. So yeah, did the best I could with that, but eventually I went and bought that miter saw box. Here you can see I have all 4 panels in the door, and I also have most of the trim pieces up here. These trim pieces, I bought those from Home Depot as well. I will have the link to all of the materials that were used in this video in the description if you're interested in doing this project. At the end, the very end of the guest bedroom makeover, I will show you a budget breakdown of how much I spent for each part of the project, because the closet will be a separate thing. And after this closet, I'm going to tackle the dresser that's in this bedroom as well. So if you haven't subscribed already, now is your time to scroll down just a little bit, hit that subscribe button, and also that thumbs up button as well. This was my first time using liquid nails, and for whatever reason, I thought it was going to be very similar to glue and be easy for me to scrape off. Not so much. So I did the liquid nails with the panels, and for the trim pieces, I used Gorilla Wood Glue. Now that was easy for me to scrape off, so I think I will recommend that more than the liquid nails if you think it would be strong enough for you. Here I'm just going around the panels and caulking in those gaps to make everything nice and smooth. Same caulk I've used for everything else. After I did that, it was time for me to prime it before I put my paint on. So when painting anything, I think it's very important that you do prime it, especially when you're painting raw wood. So I started off priming it with the Kiehl's all-purpose primer, but I felt like the consistency for this was too thick, and it wasn't really going over the door like I needed it to. That's when I remembered that I have this Behr's primer. It's better for wood, I think, because the consistency is so much thinner. It's very watery. I almost thought that something was wrong with it. But then I remembered that, hey, this is raw wood, so being that this is watery, it'll absorb more into the wood and then be able to seal it and protect it from moisture and all that type of stuff. So I definitely recommend reading and reviewing a good primer for using on raw wood. But I will have both of these linked in the description of this video. Yeah, I think it's going to be real nice. Don't worry about that little piece, because that's the bottom, and we got carpet, so you'll never see that. Uh-oh. That looks better. Ooh, that's a pretty cool car. So after I got the door up, I realized that the hinges would show when it's open, so I removed the hinges. And if you guys have been watching even a few of my videos, then you know that before I buy something new, baby, I'm trying to reuse what I have. So for these hinges, I figured if I could just scrape the old paint off of them a little bit, clean them up, and then I found a can of gold leaf spray paint that I already had from who knows what. So yeah, I figured I'll just spray paint these and slap them back on, because gold is what I wanted to use for this bedroom anyway. And as always, I'm trying to keep everything I do budget friendly, y'all. Budget friendly. So yeah, I got 1,000 cans of spray paint, so gold leaf is what it's going to be. While I waited on those hinges to dry, I went ahead and brushed a couple coats of paint on the inside of the door where the hinges would go, so that we can have everything all nice and ready for those hinges to go back on, and I could put the door back together. Okay, so finally, after all of that, it was time for me to paint the door. This paint is also paint that I had left over, so I didn't have to spend money on this. I also had some matte polyacrylic laying around from when I painted the window in the dining room. So yes, I saw somewhere that you can mix your polyacrylic with your paint so that you don't have to do 1,000 coats separately. So I was just going to pour this in my paint tray, stir it together really good, and apply it to the door. And y'all, I don't know if it was, I think it's probably the ring light, but the sheen that was on this door as I painted it, although it was matte, I absolutely love this color. It is Vintage Pewter by Behr. I also have that linked in the description below, in Eggshell, I believe, but I absolutely love the way that this turned out. I can't wait to do the other half of the door. Hey, it's a new day. Last night I put 2 coats of paint on this closet door. Now that that's dry, I'm gonna go ahead and drill the holes so that I can put the knobs on. That way I want to go ahead and start decorating and show you guys what I bought yesterday. That way if I don't like it, I can head out to the store today and try to get something else. I'm not really sure how this is supposed to go, being that it's not necessarily a drawer, but a closet door. So if you ever order any hardware from Amazon, they come with these janky behind screws. Maybe they're not janky and I just don't know how to work them, but you have to cut them with something. I don't know what's the perfect tool to cut them. I always struggle, so it took me forever to put these 2 knobs on this door. Don't be like me, y'all. Be better than me. Although this project was definitely a labor of love and it took me months to do, it feels like, I definitely am proud of how it turned out. I love it. Now I just need to do the other half of the door. I held off on doing that because I wasn't sure if I would like the technique, but looks great to me. So time to knock out that other half of the door, but I love it so much. Thank you so much for watching. If you made it this far, be sure to like and subscribe to my channel. Okay, bye.